What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with a new draft analysis here for you guys. We are here for a new league, and I am really excited because this is a new league, and I have not played against really anything or anything like that against anyone. So we are here for the fun Pokemon League, the FPL, or they like to do the FPLA, I guess, for associations and stuff for that. But we're just gonna call it the FBL, which is the Fun Pokemon League, and I am super excited because we have a really cool team. Real quick, I'm gonna go over the old team that we took over and kind of explain why I made the decisions that I made and doing what I did. So, if you guys are excited for another draft analysis in a new league where we're gonna be facing pretty much new coaches, but we do have some old coaches that we do know that's in the league itself, which is pretty cool. But nonetheless, let's get into the video. If you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new, and join the Phil Shocker crew today because you'll be feeling with the king of the crew. And after this draft analysis, I'm going to bed because I'm about to yawn right about now. Excuse me. That was roughly perfectly timed. Anyways, let's break down. So, this was the original team. The original team was Corviknight, Arcanine, Dragalge, Lurantis, Lapras, Luxray, Mega Gardevoir, Zoroark, Galarian Zapdos, Piloswine, and Lycanroc. Now, looking at this team, there is a lot of problems. There's a little bit of just some repetitive typing. There's a lot of weaknesses to things like fighting, which is a big problem. So, I was really thinking to myself, okay, I was gonna think, looking at what was also open in the free tiering right now. I was keeping things like, okay, well, I want to keep maybe like Mega Gardevoir, Corviknight, and Arcanine, because at the time there was maybe one or two other fire types that I liked more than Arcanine in that sense. But then there was just some other things I was looking at, and I just I do apologize if I yawn so many times. I just can't help it. That's how it is. But there was so many options to do what I could have done, and ultimately, what I just decided to do was just look over and think to myself, okay, what do I do here? And I decided, after really deciding, because I really wanted to keep Corviknight and Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir has been a Mega I have been waiting and dying to try. Corviknight I have been waiting forever to use again. I've only used it one time. Arcanine I was okay with kind of using everything, and I really wanted to use Galarian Zapdos again, but I knew I had to drop either Corviknight or Zapdos going into that. But ultimately, I actually did make the decision to drop everything on the team. I did drop every single thing on the team, and yeah, that's not really a good thing, but it's not a bad thing, and I'll explain why in a second. So basically, why I dropped everything on the team. For one, was really hesitant on dropping Lurantis. I actually thought I could maybe try that thing out, but I felt like I would rather use Lurantis more in a kind of legacy format. So I didn't really like Lurantis, so there was that. Dragalge, I'm not really a big fan of. Lapras, I was seriously willing to give Lapras a shot here, but I just felt like Lapras just didn't fit where I wanted to do. Luxray, we've won a championship with Luxray. I would have loved to repeat it again, but I didn't really feel like it. Zoroark, I don't feel like I'm really good with. Zapdos, like in Articuno, not Articuno, Gardevoir and Corviknight, like I said, I want to keep those. It was Arcanine. Lycanroc as well. Excuse me, I really wanted to keep as well. Piloswine was kind of meh for me, but what ultimately made me drop this whole team, that there was a lot of these Pokemon, and I decided that in this league, I want to try new Pokemon. I want to try some very old Pokemon that I have not used in so long, and I want to try some Pokemon that I have never tried before, or try Pokemon I've only used maybe once, and that's it. So that's my reasoning behind dropping everything. And so let's go over the team. I'm going to go over the team in exactly the kind of order I have. And also, I have these kind of labeled as what we have right now. But I'm going to change their nicknames so you guys can see them live. But let's go over. So the first one I decided to scoop up. I can't believe this was in free agency. I scooped up Zygarde. And we are going to obviously name it Zukiyo. Because of, it's the Zygarde we have used in the Ubers League once before, and it carried us. And Zukiyo is just the Zygarde I know. I do plan on my next full draft league some point to do an actually anime reference based off one of my personal favorite animes, which I'll explain when we get to that. And I'll have to have a hard time also picking Pokemon that fit the perfect names for it and everything like that. But so we're just gonna probably go with some names I have used. But anyways, we have Sugio the Zygarde. I seriously cannot believe that this was sitting here in the free agency. I don't know why no one was smart enough to pick this thing up. This is a powerhouse of a Pokemon. And you want to know why it's just a powerhouse of a Pokemon? That's all you need to know. Thousand Arrows. This move is just busted broken. This thing can neutralize the flying type in the second turn. It neutralizes your levitate on the second turn. This thing stops everything out there. Excuse me. Again, I'm sorry if I'm yawning so much. I forgot what's Aura Break even do. I don't get it. But anyways, Zygarde is just busted broken. This thing is good with some coil sets. This is a good Dragon Dance Super user. There's actually some relatively good special sets with Zygarde as well. Overall, I felt like Zygarde was just the perfect mon to grab, and I felt like getting it as my tier 1 for free instead of having to spend points for it, I think was just worth it. And I am so excited to use Zygarde again. And looking at the rest of our team, I think we really build around Zygarde relatively decently good. Going into my second pick, I decided to pick up. I grabbed It, and we're gonna just name him It. I haven't really decided if we're gonna go Pennywise or anything. I think It's better. Also, I still don't understand why his sprite changes when he's a shiny. I don't get it. I think it's a single stack attack. Anyways, but I went with Blacephalon, and the reason I went with Blacephalon is because this has been a Pokemon. I don't know why. I have been really wanting to try. I have been really wanting to try Blacephalon. I think Blacephalon is a really fun Pokemon. Excuse me. I think Blacephalon's really good. Specs is really great. There's some decent chances to run like a physical set, which can be relatively good. This thing's a really good choice scarf abuser as well. Base 107 speed, outspeed any base 105s and below, which I think is really good. This is just, I think, a really good pairing with Zygarde as well. I mean, obviously the water weakness is a little bit of a problem right there. But looking at Zygarde, what is the number one Pokemon Zygarde hates to break through? That is extremely bulky grass types. Then guess what? I have Pokemon that do break through bulky grass types. And looking at the rest of my team, you're going to see we really, really check bulky grass types going through the rest of the season. And I think helping that. And also mitigating a bit of a fire weakness that we somewhat develop a little bit, but I think you'll see we cover up relatively decently. But going into my third pick, I decided to jump down to tier 3. And I jumped down to tier 3. Actually, we'll go ahead and just move. Well, I guess I can't move. So my first tier 3 Pokemon is Slowking, and you already know that I could not pass up this thing being free agent right now. I'm telling you right now, I did not want to pass up not scooping up our board Magneto. If you guys don't remember our APA Indigo run, this is also a spoiler, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and just skip like a couple seconds or so until I'm started talking about the next Pokemon. But ultimately, I wanted Slowking, dude. Galar Slowking won us the championship in APA Indigo, and I really wanted to use him again in the AP low tier league, but that got ruined from us. We haven't had a chance to use him again in another league, which I won't spoil until draft has officially started and stuff like that. But ultimately, I really, really wanted to try this Pokemon, and I am so excited to grab my boy Slowking. Also, before we go into my next pick, after I also get done with Slowking here, but Slowking, Trick Room Abuser. Fantastic Trick Room Abuser. I love this Pokemon. He's just so good. The coverage is really great. Salt Vest, Berry, Lex Sludge, Future Sight sets, Calm Mind sets, Nasty Plot sets, even Belly Drum if we want to get a little fancy wancy. But I love, 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 love this Pokemon. He is so good, and I've been having so much fun using him as a Dynamax Pokemon in this like the singles battling. I short sealed Wi-Fi. Excuse me for my yawning, and I just fell there. So actually, going into this league, we are, I believe, negative 14 in differential. We are 0-4. We can still technically make the playoffs. There's only 5 coaches in each division. We need a total of 20 coaches, and top 3 make playoffs. We can still theoretically make the playoffs with a 5-5 record, but if I think we lose our next 2 or 3 games, we are 100% guaranteed knocked out of playoffs. But again, I'm not looking to I'm looking to hopefully make playoffs, but I'm looking forward to mostly just reusing a few gold favorites and trying out new Pokemon. That's all I've kind of really been wanting to do with this league, and I felt it was a really good league. It's only week 5 going into this upcoming week, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got roughly six more weeks. We're fine. I'm really excited to use this Loki, and I'm really excited for this league. So I decided to jump to my tier 2 then. My tier 2 is the boy himself, Obstagoon. I think I've only used Obstagoon one time, and we didn't get the chance to use him all that much, and I'm so excited to finally have him back. What you guys don't know about Obstagoon is that it really uses the most greatest abilities out there in Guts, which actually mean our Flame Warp and stuff. There's also relatively good access to use Defiant, which is definitely going to pressure people to be careful of running Intimidate against me in that type of stuff. Now, if you look at our team here, we do have a bit of a quad weakness going here, especially with our next pick, which we're going to spoil a little bit right here, and one other pick. So we have a one Pokemon that's quad weak to grass. We have a fire type and a poison type and a steel type and two bug types, which I'm going to spoil right now. That we can cover that, so no problem. The next quad weakness we have is fire. Now, fire is the only one we might struggle a little bit against, but I think we can work around it. The next quad weakness we have fighting. Fighting, I've got a psychic type, I've got a ghost type, I've got well, I have another Pokemon that's flying, but doesn't get resisted. But I have relatively good answers to flying types, fighting types, and down obviously is the ice type. We've got a fire type, we've got a steel type, we've got a rock type. I'm not too stressed about that, but yeah. So I really pressured my opponent to have to be careful and being very precise on their move coverage brings against me, which gets me a chance to know exactly what's going to be coming versus me. So, but what I love about Obstagoon, which I don't actually, I think I'm gonna name him. I think I named him Gene for Gene Simmons because of the tongue stuff and kiss and everything. And I think we're gonna actually, you know what? Nah, actually, I don't really prefer his shiny. I prefer his natural colors. But what I love about Obstagoon is, again, the gut sets and Defiant sets. Obstruct is actually a really good way to activate your guts, and plus to also lower the attack stat, lower the defense stats, I mean, of a Pokemon. I just think Obstagoon is a really good Pokemon. Based on 95 speed, obviously it pairs well with Zygarde, but Zygarde is one of these Pokemon that I don't need to invest in speed every single week. It could just slap a choice band, leftovers with coil or sub or anything like that. Ultimately, I think Obstagoon is so good. Excuse me. That I just really wanted to use it again. I felt like it was going to be a really good Pokemon for us, and I'm really excited. So we're not going to talk about too much about this Pokemon, but he is back. He is here. It is our boy. Hold on, I'm making sure Ginger's for everyone else here. So yeah, it is our boy Chainsaw. He is back. We're not going to talk too much about Chainsaw because obviously we have him in APA, and I also talked about a little about him in there. But again, host of Pokemon are one of my kind of guilty child pleasures to do. That sounded wrong. Don't take that out of context. One of my guilty pleasures. I think having a Pokemon that just smacks incredibly hard is super good. Durant also using Home Calls, almost like kind of from one Home Calls, I think kind of almost basically nullifies it. I still believe there's a chance you could still miss, but regardless, this thing's a massive festival attacker. It's a really good defensive Pokemon as well. Again, at 109 speed, even though that does put it only like what 2 points higher than that. Still, that 2 points can make a big difference right there. It does still prioritize enforcing to bring Scarfers and stuff like that. The next pick doesn't help with the speed because it's literally 1 point higher than the next. But that's Raichu. Now, why did I grab Raichu, you might ask? Well, I felt like Raichu was a pretty good pickup. And in all honesty, I've never used Raichu. I've always not had the interest to try Raichu. But Raichu is a really good slept-on Pokemon just because it gets access to both Surf and Grass Knot, which checks its biggest weakness, which is flying type, which is fire type. No, the ground types. Oh my god, I can't speak. Which counters them really differently. Again, that base 110 speed really helps in speed ties, I believe, with things like Latios and Gengar, which is really good. It's a really good, decent coverage one, and I think I also have the option to go potential physical as well with knockoff as a support item, fake out priority as well. I ultimately think Raichu is a really good slept on Pokemon here, and I'm really excited to try it. And I also had decided to go with a good nickname for it. I'm gonna go with Divine, and I'm gonna name it Make a Male. And the reason why he's Divine, because like the divining rod, so it's like the divine. He's like his tail will attract to the electrical current and figure out is the transportation and stuff like that and everything. So I felt the divining rod was really good. I'm just gonna name him Divine. So, but yeah, going into our next set of mons here, I grabbed one of my old babies here that I wish I had chances to finish leagues with, but I never did. And it's one Pokemon that I think is a slept on Mega that I think a lot of people don't sometimes really recognize and appreciate. And that is my girl Skyblazer here. Hold on, just really? I hate it when my computer does this, man. It just. Ugh. But yeah, we have Skyblazer here. And obviously, no guard Hurricane. That's all that needs to be said. Like, literally, I can't miss a single attack. Now, I'm going to spoil this, and you're going to probably tell this is our only hazard remover on this team. Again, I don't believe you need hazard removal to win leagues. I mean, look at our APA run. We didn't use hazard removal, and we beat, I think we beat every sticky web team except maybe one. I don't fully remember, but we essentially beat every single sticky web team. And there was other teams I've been with having sticky webs on my side of the field. I don't care about hazards. I think that the hazards are not necessary. We have good ways around hazards, which forces a lot of priority on them to bring. But ultimately, I felt like Pidgeot was a really good pick here regardless, even if it is one of Defogger, it can run to just defeat. This can just literally run Hurricane, Heatwave, Defog, and Roost every single week, and I can just be happy with it. Like, also, there could be some other sets I maybe want to try to be creative with it, but ultimately, this thing is really good. Base 121 speed, makes me outspeed any potential base 120s and below, which is really good. There's agility sets, which, if we are allowed to have this Pokemon in week 5, going against our next opponent, who has spoilers, a Sand Team, I have a crazy idea I want to try with this thing, especially if I look at the matchup really deeply and think if it's a good idea. I won't spoil it unless it's in the team or if not. So, but ultimately, I wanted Hurricane, and plus, I've never used Pidgeot in so long, and I don't think I've ever finished the league with it. So, I really wanted to try it. Another Mon that was on a championship team from the APA Indigo. Sunday is back. I decided Sunday is my other tier 3 option. The other tier fairy type that was on there was Togekiss, but obviously with having already a flying type, I couldn't get that. There were some, maybe I think a few other fairies, but they weren't really up to my kind of way I wanted them to be. I think like Roatees, excuse me, like things like Aromatisse were gone. I could have kept like a Gardevoir, which definitely would have been better than Slurpuff. But I decided to get Slurpuff, and there's two reasons why. One, Bird and Sweeping is really fun. And two, Sticky Webs. Sticky Webs for Zygarde, Blacephalon. What do? You do nothing but die. I just click buttons and kill you. Ultimately, though, I think Slurpuff's a really good Pokemon. I think people have also slept on the special sets of Slurpuff, which we've shown off, and we actually picked up, I think, 6 Kells with special Slurpuff by itself. So, definitely a Pokemon that I think is really, really good. Another Pokemon that we have not used in quite some time is our boy, Fettuccine. Let's see, Fettuccine. Fettuccine, I think the I is silent enough. I don't think it's the I, but we have Fettuccine here, our Tangrove, and it has been a hot minute since we've used him. I am currently using him in an off league right now that's hosted by a good couple of my friends and everything like that, and I've been using him, and he's not been doing too much goodness there. So I figured, let's bring him back into the live scene of things and go from there. I think what's really, really great about Tangrove, this was one of the best Zygarde checks in the entire game, and this was left on the board. So I decided, I'm picking it up. I have a lot of good Spit F bulk Pokemon on my team, so having the low Spit F set doesn't really matter. This is like a really good special defense, physical defensive wall. It could be decent special defensive wall as well. The Assault Vest maxed out special defense stat type of thing. So definitely something to note right there. But ultimately, I think Tangrowth is a really good Pokemon. Knockoff Prior, knockoff Leech Seed. Also having access to Sleep Powder is really huge, I think. So ultimately speaking, I think Tangrowth fits so well in this team, and I'm really, really excited to try Tangrowth out for the season after a while. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but I actually have used this Pokemon before in the past, and I'm actually really excited to use it again. It is my homie Ninjago. Ninjago is, well, for Ninjago, for those who don't know, I believe it was a Lego ninja show. And I went with this thing for a couple of reasons. One, it's a spike stacker. Two, it's a toxic spike stacker. Three, it is a final gambit user with its HP stat. And four, it's got that blistering 145 speed stat, which I believe is faster than Dragon Ball, which is really, really cool. And there's actually some pretty cool sets with Ninjago here. This thing got access to Road Spray for the item choice now, so this thing can run Bug Buzz, being an offensive monster to deal with. Like, this Pokemon is so dummy good at doing what it can do, and ultimately, I just feel like this Pokemon's really good. Obviously, we can see some of the kind of moves it can learn and do for us there. Obviously, it doesn't help us too much against certain Pokemon, but ultimately, it's a Pokemon that can really do well with us. And I just generally am looking forward to using a Selgor. It's been a very long time since I've ever used a Selgor. I think it's been like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. But yeah, really excited to use a Selgar. And I've been using him in a bit of a free league, just like the Tangrowth. And Lord Helix is on my side. Lord Helix is actually, even though I haven't really been able to show off Lord Helix or do anything with Lord Helix is fun. You know, Shell Smash sets are really good. It gives me a Stealth Rocker, which is really important for my team. It gives me a second Toxic Spikes user as well, as long as I think a Spikes user. Yep, it gives me Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks. It's 3 sets in one. Then there's the extra Spikes, Toxic Spikes that's in a Selgor, the Spikes, the Stealth Rocks that are in Clefairy. Ultimately, I really felt like Omastar fit the team well, and then for what water types that were left and I decided to go with the Omastar pick, just because I felt like it was just a super good Pokemon, and I've been having fun, and I think this is a fun Pokemon to try with having fun league. But yeah, that is the team, guys, for our season here. You expect a team builder up probably on next week. Who knows? But ultimately, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys are excited for this new team. I am excited to try some new mons and some old mons I have not touched in years. So I'm super excited. If you guys are excited, leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you are new, join the Shocker crew today because you'll be feeling with the king of the crew. And with that being said, I will see you guys in week 5's battle as we go from there. But until next time, guys, I'm Shocker, the nicest hedgehog. I'll see you guys later. Peace.